In today's video, I'm going to share my really easy and delicious dal recipe. So if you're not familiar with dal, it's a lentil or split pea dish. It's somewhere between a soup and a stew. It's often served as an Indian subcontinent dish and is often served alongside other Indian style dishes. That's not to say there's just one idea of it or one recipe, because across the Indian subcontinent you'll find different variations of this dish. Depending which country you sample it from, it could be thin, almost like a clear soup, or it could be thick and sticky. My recipe is somewhere in between and it's completely non-authentic. It's just made very, very westernized and very, very simple. It freezes like a dream. It's delicious. It's high in protein and low in calories. And for me, it's the ultimate comfort food. I like to serve mine just with some rice and possibly a few vegetables, because I don't eat meat, so that's perfect for me, and it is absolutely full of flavour. Much of the flavour comes from the garlic and the ginger. It's not meant to be a dish that's highly spicy. In other words, it's not meant to have a lot of spicy heat in it. The flavours are mild and delicious. So let's get started. So firstly, I hope you can see okay. One of my film lights has broken again. I'm always patching it up. I've got two. One's broken, the other one's dodgy. Neither of them I own. They're on permanent loan from my friend Kev, by which I mean I've nicked them. And I'm going to start with 2 onions. Now, these are not onions, they're shallots, because I don't seem to have any onions. So we're off to a good start today. What can I say? This is not a cooking channel. This is an everything channel. And this substitution of shallots for onions is fully approved by Kat. So actually you can use any kind of onion. So I would usually use a large white onion, but as I said, we don't seem to have any. So we're going to chop these fairly small. And the reason for that is that this dal recipe, it's not going to be, put through a blender or anything like that. And there goes the light. Let's have that back again. I'm sorry, guys. I have like zero budget for this stuff. So I'm not independently wealthy. My landlord may well be independently wealthy. He's got a very big house. So there we are. Anyway, perhaps this dal recipe will go viral and make me wealthy. So you're going to chop your 2 onions or many shallots to about this size. We're going to cook it all in one pot, and we're going to start by just lightly frying these in a little oil. I don't usually measure the oil. You need a teaspoon or so. I'm going to use rapeseed oil. If you're in America, you'll call that canola. Now, I will put all of the details and all of the quantities in the video description. It's a little bit hard for me to tell you, how many portions this makes, because it can be like a side dish, but it can also be a main dish, so it kind of depends how much you serve. But I'll do my best to put some quantities down in the video description. First of all, we're going to chop more of these and then lightly fry them. So we're just cooking the onion until it's transparent. You don't want to brown it for this recipe. What I've got now is a nice large chunk of ginger, and you want about 6 to 8 cloves of garlic. Do not skimp on the garlic and the ginger for this recipe, because it's the main source of flavour. And all I'm going to do now is chop this up so that it's in nice small pieces. When all of that's done, I'll add it to the onions and just cook it through for a couple of minutes. Then we're going to add all of the rest of the ingredients. There is one more thing that we need to chop, and I'll show you that in a moment. Now, I said one more thing to chop, but technically there's actually 2. Now, once your garlic and ginger starts to soften a little, you're going to stir in a tablespoon of curry powder. Now, for this recipe, you'll need 2 large tomatoes. You can see I've got cherry tomatoes here. They was just what was in the shop. I do normally use the larger ones, which I would chop into sort of, fairly small pieces. Because these are so tiny, I'm just going to chop them in half. Now, I did experiment once with adding a tin of chopped tomatoes, because I'm all about making things quicker. There's nothing technically wrong with tinned tomatoes, but honestly, it changed the whole feel of the recipe. You didn't get that clean taste. It altered the colour. So really, you do want fresh tomatoes for this recipe. And because we're all about flavour and it's a simple recipe, try to choose ones with a little bit of flavour. Here in the UK, you get some packs of tomatoes are very cheap and they just don't have any flavour whatsoever. And you get to know that sometimes it's worth just spending a few more pennies or a few more cents on something with a bit more flavour. So you're going to chop 2 large tomatoes or some small tomatoes like this and set those aside. Now, before we prepare our lentils, and I like to rinse mine before I cook them, so I don't want them sitting around sort of wet for ages. I want to rinse them, get them straight in the pan. We're going to do about 1.25 pints of vegetable stock, and in it we're going to dissolve some of this creamed coconut. So this brand is super popular in the UK. Most of our sort of Chinese style stuff in the supermarkets is this. You can see it's quite hard stuff, creamed coconut. Now, I don't actually bother to weigh this. We need 50 grams for this recipe. This is a 200-gram block. So really, I will just chop about 1/4 of it. And do be aware that the quantities you see me actually cooking on screen may be a little larger than the ingredients I'm giving you here, but I'll give you various options in the video description of amounts that you can cook. And what we're going to do is, I know I shouldn't use a good knife on a packet like this, but I'm going to. But the thing with this stuff is, although it dissolves, it doesn't dissolve easily. And so I've discovered that if you just sort of dump it in the stock, even if the stock is hot, it tends not to dissolve. Look, it's, you know, it's pretty solid stuff. So what I like to do is actually cut it like this, and it sort of flakes. And I'll chop the whole thing up like that. And then when I put it into the stock, it's going to dissolve nicely. So let's look at the rest of our ingredients. And again, I'm lying to you about what needs chopping because we're going to add some coriander at the end. I think you call that cilantro in America. So I've got my yellow split peas or lentils here. Now, of course, you could use the red ones. I just think the yellow ones are much nicer for this dish. I've got bay leaf. I'm talking about saving money. A friend bought me a little bay leaf tree. Honestly, it's the best thing ever. I've never had to buy them again. And we're going to use 3/4 teaspoon of salt. So once your onions and your garlic and your ginger are softened and you've cooked your mild curry powder for just a little while, just to sort of release some of the flavour, we're going to pop our other ingredients in. So we're going to put our stock in with our creamed coconut. We're going to put our lentils in, which we're going to rinse first. We're going to put our tomatoes in, and we're going to put our salt and bay leaf in. Then you're going to put a lid on your stock pot, and depending on the type of lentils that you've got, the type of split peas that you've got, depends how long you're going to simmer this for. Could take anything from 10 to 25 minutes, so just have a look at the cooking instructions and you'll be able to judge anyway once they start to go soft. I've got a nice big bag of coriander here. And what I'm going to do is get a generous handful of this, remove just the thickest, toughest stems. You always get 1 or 2 that are just a bit chunky. I'm going to rinse this and then chop it nicely and pop it into the stock pot at the end of the cooking time. Now, technically, if you wanted to, you could freeze this recipe and then you could add fresh coriander in. I live in a village and I can't always get hold of this stuff. So although it's not, you know, it's never as good when it's been frozen as it would be if you popped it in fresh. That's a sacrifice I'm quite happy to take. So once everything's cooked, I'm going to put in my chopped coriander and then allow it to cool. I'll freeze this in boxes. We're actually being told today that we could get snow this evening, which I really don't want because I've got a very small car and I have to go out this evening. But certainly if I do come home in the snow, I'm going to be very grateful of having a nice ready-made warm bowl of dal to eat. Let me know in the comments if you're going to give this recipe a go, or perhaps you have your own dal recipe that you could share with us, or at least let us know what extra things you put in your dal. I like to keep mine simple. It's the perfect food for me after I've been training in the evenings and I get home late. Absolute delicious comfort food. Don't forget to free subscribe to the channel. Everything on this channel is fully approved by cats. Also, don't forget to be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, and always be kind to the animals.